Breaking update from Dodger Stadium: Shohei Ohtani is holding back in his throwing progression, and he's made it clear he doesn't want to take any unnecessary risks. In a revealing statement, Ohtani emphasized that his long-term health and pitching future remain his top priority. Fans and analysts are buzzing. Was that 102 mph heater all he's giving us for now? Or is this a smart step-by-step plan toward being back at full strength? With his bat still firing, the focus is squarely on his arm rehab. Ohtani's choices could have major implications for L.A.'s postseason push. Health versus hustle, what's the right call? And when will we see him back on the mound, fully unleashed? Shohei Ohtani has spoken and his message is clear. He's in no rush, he's in control, and above all else, he refuses to take unnecessary risks with his future. While Dodgers fans across the world wait, dream, and debate the return of the most dynamic two-way player baseball has seen in a century, Ohtani is taking the one path many didn't expect, the patient one. Today's updates send ripples across the MLB community, not because it was dramatic, not because it was flashy, but because it was honest. When asked about the progression of his throwing program, Ohtani calmly but firmly said he's not going to take unnecessary risks. That simple phrase turned into the headline of the day. And for good reason. Because when you're Shohei Ohtani, arguably the most valuable baseball player on the planet, every word matters. Let's unpack this moment. As of now, Ohtani is still not pitching. Following his second Tommy John surgery, the Dodgers knew 2025 would be all about his bat. That was the plan when they signed him to the record-shattering $700 million deal. Hit now. Heal later. Pitch when ready. But for months, fans have held out hope. Maybe he's ahead of schedule. Maybe we'll see him on the mound in September. Maybe, just maybe, the Dodgers will unleash the full Ohtani experience when the postseason arrives. Now, that feels less likely. Not because he's injured again, not at all. But because Ohtani, for all his competitiveness, is thinking long-term. Sources close to the team have confirmed he is progressing in his throwing program. He's been tossing from short distances, building strength, following protocol. But according to both Ohtani and manager Dave Roberts, the star slugger is being extremely cautious. And that's by design. In his own words, Ohtani said, "There's still a long way to go in the season. I want to contribute every day, but I also want to make sure I'm doing the right thing for my arm, for the team, and for the years to come." That mindset has earned massive respect inside the Dodgers clubhouse. Veteran teammates like Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts have praised his discipline. Even pitching coach Mark Prior, no stranger to what injuries can do to a pitcher's career, has applauded Ohtani's maturity. They all know the truth: when you're working back from a second UCL tear, you don't rush. You rebuild. Slowly. Intentionally. Let's be real, this is uncharted territory. We've never seen a player like Ohtani. A superstar slugger who also wants to be the ace of a rotation. And recovering from Tommy John once is difficult enough. Doing it a second time while still producing as one of the league's most feared hitters is borderline superhuman. Yet here we are. Ohtani has already launched over 20 home runs. He's leading the Dodgers in multiple offensive categories. And he's doing all of this without throwing a single inning. That's how special he is. That's why fans are so eager to see the full version again. But as Ohtani reminds us, greatness isn't rushed. Some analysts have questioned the cautious approach. They say if Ohtani's healthy enough to throw from 60 feet, why not push him toward bullpen sessions? Why not target a late-season debut? Could he come in for one key postseason inning? The Dodgers answer: we're not even thinking that way yet. Manager Dave Roberts said earlier this week, "It's all about progression. We're not going to skip steps. Shohei's been excellent in sticking to the plan. We want him right for the long haul, not just for a few innings." Translation? This isn't about October 2025. This is about October 2026, 2027 and beyond. Remember, Ohtani's deal with the Dodgers is front-loaded with deferred payments. He's locked in. This isn't a rental. This is a legacy investment. a long-term commitment. And for him, rushing back too early just to make a few dramatic playoff appearances this year would be exactly what he's trying to avoid. Now, here's the kicker: this decision also protects the Dodgers from themselves. Because if Ohtani did say, "I'm ready, let me pitch," the temptation would be real. Imagine a Game 5 at Dodger Stadium. Tied series. Bullpen thin. The crowd chanting his name. The headlines writing themselves. It would be so easy to give in. But that's the kind of moment that could end careers. One wrong pitch. One off-speed slider with too much torque. And suddenly, everything resets. That's why Ohtani's calm, patient, methodical approach matters. He knows the pressure. He knows the hype. And yet, he's choosing the smart road. The high road. And honestly, it's working. By staying focused on hitting, Ohtani is dominating. His swing has never looked more controlled. His timing is crisp. His power is effortless. Opposing pitchers are terrified to throw him anything in the zone. He's not just surviving as a one-way player, he's thriving. And that's part of what makes this even more remarkable. Most players recovering from major surgery miss an entire season. They sit. They rehab. They watch. But Ohtani? He's out there every night, DHing, winning games, lifting his teammates, carrying the load offensively, and doing it all while still planning his eventual pitching return. Think about that for a second. This man isn't just a two-way player. He's a two-career player. Two elite paths, hitter and pitcher, rolled into one person. And somehow, he's balancing both. Carefully. Quietly. Brilliantly. So what does this mean for the rest of the Dodgers season? Well, barring a major change, we're not going to see Ohtani on the mound in 2025. That's becoming clearer with each update. And honestly, that might be okay. Because this team is built to win now and later. With guys like Yamamoto, Bobby Miller, Gavin Stone, and a healthy Kershaw hopefully returning down the stretch, the pitching staff still has enough firepower. Add in Ohtani's bat, and the Dodgers still have championship DNA. And when 2026 arrives, that's when the fireworks begin. If Ohtani can come back to full form as a pitcher while continuing to mash at the plate, we might witness something baseball has literally never seen before. A 40-homer slugger who also starts Game 1 of the World Series. That's not a dream. That's a possibility. But only if the right steps are taken now. So for the fans asking, why isn't he